Former Vice President Joe Biden made a campaign stop in Iowa last night as the 2020 Democratic presidential primary tightens. According to a Suffolk University and USA Today poll, Biden is closely trailed in the state by both Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg.
But 29% of voters in Iowa are undecided. CBS News 2020 campaign reporter Bo Erickson is in Iowa following Democratic candidates on the campaign trail and joins us now. So, Bo, Biden apologized for the remarks about the Clinton impeachment 21 years ago, shortly before he took the stage, where he used the word lynching, right, which the president had gotten into a lot of trouble about. Let's hear his apology.
Yes, and I apologize for it. And what I wasn't using as a dog whistle, he's using as a dog whistle.
So what did you mean when you said it?
I said it, and I was wrong to have said it, and I apologize for having said it. And I apologize for then, and I apologize for it now. The fact of the matter is it shouldn't be used at all. But the encouragement of white supremacists, which he's done his entire presidency, that's what I was responding to.
So just to sort of remind people, he was talking about the impeachment of Bill Clinton, and he said it was a political lynching, something along those lines. The president recently talked about the impeachment inquiry into him, tweeted rather, and said it was a lynching. And people got really, really upset about the use of that word. And then when they kind of went back into the archives, they saw that Biden had used it as well, and he apologized. How's that going over?
Well, good morning to both of you. It's kind of brisk and sunny morning here in Muscatine, Iowa. But you're right. Joe Biden had to apologize for words about a much darker time in American history. He gave a full-throated apology for the first time on camera last night. And he said he both apologizes for it now and that we should never use these words. It is important to note that back in 1998, when Joe Biden used this partisan lynching term talking about the Clinton impeachment, that other Democrats were using it at the time, most notably Jerry Nadler, who still serves in Congress today. But Joe Biden said that that does not make it right and we should never use that term. Also last night, he said that he had apologized for it then. It is unclear if he meant back in 1998. CBS News has not been able to find an apology back then, but he did apologize for it Tuesday night and then subsequently on Wednesday night as well.
So in the body of his speech, Biden focused on health care. What did he say about the plan for Medicare, and how did the crowd respond?
So this, as all of the CBS News reporters out on the trail have said, is likely the number one topic on the trail on voters' minds. Joe Biden represents the not Elizabeth Warren position on the campaign trail here. And the reason why I say it like that is because her name kept coming up over and over again last night at the Joe Biden rally. And it was not Bernie Sanders, even though Elizabeth Warren is on Bernie Sanders' plan for Medicare for all. Joe Biden yesterday said, if you're going to have Medicare for all, you should have truth for all and tell the voters how they are going to pay for it. He's also starting to pitch his plan, which is a public option, who his campaign just says is just as bold. He's calling it Medicare if you want it, which some of us found interesting because it is similar to Pete Buttigieg's plan that's Medicare for all if you want it as well.
So Biden told reporters that he would win Iowa, but the polling is very tight. What does he need to do to win here?
So for the past couple months, his campaign has said that Iowa is not a must-win state for them. So he was asked about this last night, and he kind of took a step back, and he said he is going to win Iowa, but that technically it is not a must-win because his campaign is looking much beyond Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina. He even brought up Super Tuesday, where the campaign feels like they may have some strength with the supporters there. One way that he is focusing on trying to bring in voters here in Iowa, a big topic of conversation last night in subsequent speeches, was climate change. I'm alongside the Mississippi River right now in Muscatine, Iowa, and this river, as it's doing right now, has crested 6 times and overflown its bank. So voters last night were saying that they are living climate change, and Joe Biden is talking to them about how he will counter that. And one of his first ideas, he says, is to get back in that Paris Climate Accord that President Trump has pulled out of.
So you've also been talking to voters in Iowa. So how are they weathering this extensive campaign season? I know that Iowans are used to it. They are used to it every 4 years.
And I think they're kind of proud of it,
they
though, right?
Yeah. I think that they do. What are you hearing from folks?
they love it, and it seems that they would just love to have the presidential candidates come every year to Iowa here. But it's interesting last night, some said that it's really early in the process, some says it's really late in the process, but they're enjoying it no matter what. It's starting to seem, though, that people are beginning to make up their minds. I actually met one woman last night. Her name was Betty Pose, and she brought along with her a photo of herself and Joe Biden from his 1988 race for president. And I said, "Oh, you must be so excited that he's running for president again." And she looked at me and she said, "Well, actually, I think I'm going to caucus for Amy Klobuchar, but I just wanted to go see this." So people are starting to make up their minds, but they're still checking out Joe Biden here in Muscatine, Iowa as well.
That's really interesting.
Really interesting. Bo, as always, great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.